You are listening to Rhythm and Resistance on WRFG Atlanta. My name is Christopher Hollis, and I will be your host for this second hour of Rhythm and Resistance. Shout out to Mirta Josefina, who had her first remotely live broadcasted program in the first hour. It was smooth, and it was actually a whole lot smoother than mine. So if you were tuning into the top of this hour, I'm very sorry for that. What's going on with my technology, but I was able to fix it pretty quick. I started off this particular hour, with a track by Chick Corea. And Chick Corea recently transitioned to that spiritual musical world. And I passed away on the 9th of February. And Chick Corea has a lot of really beautiful music. And I wanted to play something a little bit more uplifting, and so it's a track called Samba LA. And right underneath my voice right now is a track called Memory of Blue by Hilary Saskis. We have a guest this morning, so I'm going to start off this set with an interview. First, I'm going to do a little test, because this would be the first time I've ever done a live interview, so bear with me, hold on. Hey, Santiago, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, man, I think they can hear you too. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, how's this? Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay, great, man. It's perfect, too. I got you on. So, just so you know as well, this is the first time that I've done, like, a phone interview live from my home.
Okay.
And for those who are listening, a lot of WRFG currently is being pre-recorded. And for a lot of that reason is because we can't be in the studio because of COVID protocols and as such. So those on Rhythm and Resistance have been experimenting with our ability to broadcast live. And the one thing that we haven't done is do a live phone interview. So, Santiago, you won't be able to hear the music that's underneath my voice, but you are hooked up to my cellular phone that's hooked up to my DJ mix. But as long as you can hear me pretty well, I think we're doing good.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm quite honored to be the first one, and I'm glad to hear that it's working just fine.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm honored to have you on. I have been an admirer of you. So for those who are listening, we're speaking to Santiago Palermo, a local artist, DJ, musician here in Atlanta. And today we're going to discuss a song that you've released. That was released last week, I believe on Thursday, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we'll talk about it a little bit more, and then I'll play it so listeners can hear it. But before we start, would you like to introduce yourself? I know that I just introduced you, but would you like to tell listeners a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Well, I am, as you said, a local musician, DJ, composer. I do some visual art as well, but my main focus has been for many years music, and I have a great passion for music from all around the world, and I think that reflects on the music I create by myself, and also with the participation of other creators. I've been living in Atlanta for almost 14 years now. I moved here from Bogota, Colombia. That's where I'm originally from, and what I do is create music, and that's what I do.
No, it's beautiful. that's what I do too, to create. Right before you got on, I just had played a track called Samba LA by Chick Corea, and so I was like, honoring another musician and composer who's transitioned to that musical spiritual world.
Yeah.
And I have really enjoyed a lot of your sets throughout the years. The first time that I met you was on 11/11/11. It was not long after I had moved here to Atlanta, and I think we had I was in a group called the Back Pockets, and we had played at the Arts Exchange.
Yes.
And I think that you were the DJ that night, right?
Yeah, that is correct. That was such a wonderful night. A shout out to the Lucky Penny Melina Rodriguez and Blake Beckham. They put together that wonderful event. It was such a great night. Lots of performance.
It was very hot.
Yeah.
Everybody was dancing. It was such a good night.
It was such a good night, and yeah, we had, I believe, the good food truck outside, and we had all these amazing performances, and from moving artists, dancers, and you guys played, and then we closed the night with a dance party. It was a very special night for sure. Yes.
Well, that was my first introduction to you, and like your very humble spirit, and also like your eclectic array of like music appreciation. And so over the years, I've gotten to be around the different sets that you've done, where you've definitely been able to showcase like their repertoire, if you will. And so what interests me in bringing that up at least is how that may interpret itself into the music that you play. So, for example, the track that you released.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what brings you to that particular sound. And for those who are listening, we'll play the song in a second so they can get like an idea of what we're talking about. But you've just released a song, right? Because I spoke to you the other day, and we were talking about like why not an album? An album kind of feels ambitious, maybe even in this time. But what moves you to interpret the music that you hear and then produce a specific sound? Is it for that moment? Is it something that is this song that we're going to play? Is it something that you've carried with you for a while? Or tell me more.
Yes, sure. So the name of the track is Namah Shivaya, and it's a mantra, one of the most used mantras of all time. And the title came, I believe, later. This is a song that I've been toying with, playing with, experimenting with for some years now. And I had the backbone of the song ready some years ago, but I knew that I wanted to give it a very particular sound and dress it up in a more maybe I don't know if the right word is traditional, but this very particular sound that took me that I wanted to take me to maybe to Morocco or the northern part of Africa. I'm drawn to music from all around the world, but for this song I wanted to travel sonically to either the north of Africa or the southern part of Spain. I think the music that exists in that area, because of the clash of all these cultures, is quite magical. It's very special, and since I haven't been able to go there myself, I want to go there with my music and kind of do an homage to the music of that region, but also like with my own take and like not having lived there or traveled there. I didn't want to be pretentious or I don't want to be pretentious and say, well, this is how the music there sounds. But I wanted to, I guess, transport myself to there through with this song. That was the original thoughts I had, and it took me a long time to complete because I was just looking for the right group of musicians that could help me with that goal.
And so who are some of the musicians that you have that are actually performing or playing with you on this track?
Sure. Well, the one thing I knew once I had kind of the backbone of the song was I need an oud. I need an oud player. Where can I find one? So I did some research, and coincidentally, through my research, I found this YouTube video of this guy playing at the High Museum here in Atlanta, and I posted a comment, say, "Who is this guy? I need to meet him. Have this project." And someone who knew him responded to me and said, well, his name is Suhail Sedran. You can contact him through this organization. So that was the first person I reached out to some years ago, to Suhail. He was super kind and cooperative. He came here to my home recording studio in East Atlanta, and I showed him the demo. We tracked the oud that was done. That was beautiful. So that was a step closer towards the direction I wanted to take, bringing in Suhail Sedran. And then I experimented with other musicians over time, just to continue experimenting on with the sound. And then some years later, I had this song on hold, and then 2019, in October 2019, I hosted this wonderful group of musicians who you know about from One Beat, which is this amazing organization. They bring 35 musicians from all corners of the world, and they do like two weeks of exchanging ideas. It's a diplomatic cultural exchange that happens once a year. And through that program, I met all these wonderful musicians, but I particularly met Sarah Duick, and she's a super young female singer, oud player, and I asked Sarah if she would be interested in helping me with this track as well, because I had a very particular idea with where the vocals should go. And also she was very kind and willing, and we tracked her vocals in October of 2019. And then I believe it must have been this time of the year, last year, maybe the beginning of February, I brought in Jaku Daniel Nissan, and he. Oh, but before I continue, so Sarah is from Tunisia, and Suhail, I'm not quite sure, but he could be also from the northern region of Africa, but I'm not quite sure Suhail where he is from. Anyway, so these people, they know about this music. They're from those regions, so that's the closest you're gonna get as far as like an authentic sound, at least coming from them. And then Jaku, I met some years ago. He moved to Atlanta. I believe Jaku's originally from Ivory Coast, and but grew up in he's traveled a lot. He lived in London and Berlin, and anyway, he moved here to Atlanta, and I saw him some years ago performing with Mosiki Scales and the Common Ground Collective, wonderful band. Definitely, folks should check them out. And super cool cats, wonderful people, wonderful musicians. And Jaku was playing with them, and during Music in the Park, Kevin Williams' project in the West End. Also, if you guys, whoever is listening, don't know about this, please make sure you support Music in the Park and Gallery 992, such a gem in this city. And I reach out.
We're very, very lucky to have
yes.
Those in the city. I don't know if I guess we didn't really have the Music in the Park this past year because of the pandemic. But when it does return, you would be a fool not to participate.
Yeah.
And support, like one of the very few, if not only, spaces where improv jazz is thriving. I'm talking about Gallery 992.
Yeah, and you talk about our inspiration, chick earlier. That's the place. That's the place. I mean, in Atlanta we have several places where experimental music and experimental jazz or free form music can really be performed and incubated. And Gallery 992 is definitely one of those places. Anyway, so I met Jaku through Music in the Park, through Music Scales and the Common Ground Collective, and I knew he was going to be the perfect fit for for this particular song. So he came in last year around this time. We tracked drums, and then it was just a matter of mixing the song properly the way I wanted, and be comfortable with it, and knowing that I did my best, and now I'm ready to share it with the rest of the world, whoever wants to listen.
Well, I think that's beautiful, and I think that's great too. I have some songs that I sit on and have sat on for a long period of time, and then every Sunday I make space for myself. No matter how busy I am, but I make space for myself on Sunday to work on like one song to keep building it. And
Yeah,
I know what that's like to carry
Yeah.
a feeling and the sound around with you for a while and wanting to get it off your chest. And you don't even have to release an album. Like I think everybody's got a song. You know, I know you got more than one, and I got more than one, but I think everybody's got a soul song or something that they can chip away at and feel proud of, something to put out there. And I think that it's rewarding too to be able to share it with somebody else, like another musician. So you're speaking of those who work with you on this project. That's probably one of the most rewarding experiences of being a musician, is being able to collaborate, I think.
Yes, and this particular song is very special in that in that the collection of musicians, it's I think quite diverse and very international. I'm from Colombia, and Sarah from Tunisia. Yaku, I could be wrong, but I think Ivory Coast. Suhail, he might be from Morocco, but I'm not sure. So that to me felt very, very special. And Atlanta is a very diverse city, very multicultural. I mean, it has its pockets, where you find just different groups of people, different ethnicities living all together in kind of a one area. But at the same time, there are some places where you can really see every ethnic group or culture meeting with each other. Not as much as you'll find them in, maybe in New York or other places, or even Bogota. But still, it's a very diverse place, and I think that I wanted to also kind of reflect on that, and just the opportunity to collaborate with people and musicians from other cultures, to me is just, it's fascinating. I love it.
Yeah. Well, so I'm gonna close up the interview with you, and then I'm gonna play the song. But before we part, by the way, I told you, but I'm gonna speak it into existence on this program. We're gonna have you on as a guest DJ at some point. So for those listening, please look forward to that, and I'll make sure to announce it. But before we do part, I'm going to end with the song, but how can listeners find out more about you? Maybe about some of the mixes that you have, or where can they locate this track if they want to go and listen to it after this?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I have everything consolidated into my website. That is santiagoparamo.com. Paramo is peace in peach. ARAMO, Santiago Paramo. But right now you can find my music everywhere. So you can look me up on Spotify and Bandcamp, and I particularly like Bandcamp. But whatever is convenient to folks, they can find me pretty much on every platform. But definitely learn more about me on my website, and I have some mixtapes there too, and some other music that I hope people will enjoy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be on the show, and thanks for being a part of my first live interview from my office.
Oh, my pleasure.
So others know, I took a break from work. They allow me to take a break to do my radio show on Fridays because I don't get it off anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the best break that I could ever ask for. Thanks for being a part of it.
Christopher, thank you. What a great conversation, and thank you for playing my music, and I hope people like it. And before I part, I want to say that well, I like for people to make their own interpretation of the song. To me, it feels, and I wanted to write something that felt almost like a prayer. Whatever you're praying for, whatever whoever you pray to, um, that was kind of also the intention behind the song. To me, I pray to the universe, and so this is me praying to the universe so that we collectively can have a better world for all of us.
Amen to that. I say to that. Praise be.
That's right.
All right.
All right, brother.
You've been listening to an interview with Santiago Paramo and myself, Christopher Hollis. We're going to go ahead and play Om Namah Shivaya. And thank you very much, Santiago. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day.